punishment of a horrible crime, or actually to protect someone from bullets. They've been a part of every era and every culture. According to the American Academy of Dermatology, 24% of Americans between the ages of 18 and 50 have a tattoo, so that's 1 in 4. So tattoos are a big part of our society today. So what I'm going to do is just give you a brief history of tattoos, why tattoos were done in the past. I'm going to break down the process of getting a tattoo, and then last I'm going to bring to light some of the negative aspects of it. So beginning with the history of, this is Otzi the Iceman. He's actually the oldest mummy that has ever been discovered. He dates back to about 5,300 years ago. He's actually tattooed. The South Tyrol Museum of Archaeology, where he resides today, states that he has over 50 tattoos. They're located on his back, his ankles, and then various other joints. And they're said to be there to possibly relieve pain for therapeutic reasons. In Japan, tattoos all the way up until the 17th century were used as a form of punishment. There's tattoos placed on foreheads and on arms to basically set you aside as a criminal, so everyone knew that you were a criminal. For positive reasons, the tattoos were done. In the Polynesian Cultural Center, they state that over 2,000 years, Samoan men and women have been getting tattoos as a form to demonstrate their culture, as a rite of passage from childhood to adulthood. Another culture is Thailand. There's still Buddhist monks still to this day that give tattoos as a form of protection to enchant abilities. The Vanishing Tattoo website actually describes a tattoo that's done on the tongue. It's called the golden tongue bird. It's actually to improve your confidence and your speaking skills. So, bringing on to American culture, there's two big names. There's Martin Hildebrandt. He was a German immigrant that came to the U.S. He tattooed during the Civil War, and he actually opened up the first tattoo parlor in 1846 in New York City on Oak Street. Another big name is Samuel O'Reilly. He invented the first tattoo machine in 1891, which basically kind of brought tattoos to America. It made it like a boom. At that point, that's when it really took off and became really important in our society. So now that I went through the history of, I'll go ahead and describe the process of. The first thing is what you're going to get a tattoo of. That's by far the most important. This is going to be on your body for the rest of your life. Why not take a few months or a few years to really think about what you want? Another thing to remember is if you're going to get a language that you're not familiar with, make sure you really do research. You don't want something on your body that isn't really what you thought it was. Another very important thing is tattoo artists. Do your research. Look around, go to different tattoo shops, look at different portfolios, go on websites. You don't want tattoos like this on your body. So it's very important as far as tattoo artists go to find a good one. The Alliance of Professional Tattooists say 3 things that are important on the day of the tattoo. First off, be well fed, be well rested, and don't come there drunk. It's disrespectful to the tattoo artist. It's going to make you bleed more, and it's not proper to do at all. In the book Ink by Teresa Green, she kind of describes the actual process of getting a tattoo. They start off with the outline. They're either going to draw it on you or they're going to use transfer paper to place it on you. At that point, you're going to look in the mirror. You're going to make sure it's not crooked or misspelled, and then you give the okay, and then it begins. The tattoo artist will shave the area. They'll disinfect it, and then they start. As far as pain goes, a lot of people are interested in that, and it really does vary. Some people will say that it was the most enjoyable thing ever. Some people will say they fell asleep in the chair, and then some people will show you half of a tattoo and tell you, it was too painful to finish. So it really does vary. And then the last thing is aftercare. Make sure that you follow the instructions that the tattoo artist gave you, because you don't want to go through all that trouble and all that pain to have an end result not be that great at all. So that's the process of. The next thing I'm going to explain to you are the negative aspects of it. The first is diseases and viruses. Hepatitis has been known to be transferred from tattooing. In 1961, New York City actually banned tattooing, all the way up until 1997. For 36 years, it was banned in New York City because of the rise of hepatitis. So that's something to think about. There's staph infection. If you're not clean, if you don't follow the aftercare procedures, you might get a staph infection. It'll distort your tattoo. Another thing is HIV. The Centers of Disease Control, the CDC, actually states that there's never been a case of HIV resulting from a tattoo. but that's not to say that it can happen in the future. So that's why you gotta be careful as far as tattoo artists who you go to. Another thing is allergic reactions. The Food and Drug Administration says that there's very few cases, but they do happen, and sometimes they actually happen years later. You'll develop an allergic reaction to the ink that's inside of it. Another thing to think about is job opportunities. You might want to think about getting tattoos like this before you become a police officer or a teacher. Really think about tattoos that aren't easy to cover. Think if they're going to cause a problem down the road. If you know there's a career that might look down on things like this. So be very careful of that. And another thing is tattoo removal, laser removal. First off, it's very expensive. It hurts actually more than getting a tattoo. And sometimes it doesn't turn out that well. So don't ever get a tattoo thinking that that's an option, down the road. So what I did today is basically give you a brief history, kind of told you why people got tattooed in the past. I broke down the process of, and the last thing I did is kind of bring to light some negative aspects. So I hope that some of these things, if any of you ever plan on getting a tattoo in the future, that it'll help you make safe and wise choices in the future. So thank you.